Please note that this content is for adults only. Viewer discretion advised. If you haven't yet, hit the subscribe, like, and share. Hello everyone and welcome to another live stream with me, Grizzly K. This is Grizzly True Crime. Today we're looking at a very sad case out of Baltimore. So welcome to all the locals. I saw Brad is from Baltimore. There's a few locals in chat. Hello to Nick the Hat. You say hey all. Hello to you. Welcome everyone. Welcome to all my moderators. Thank you so much for everything you do. Welcome to all my patrons. Thank you for the little challenge that you guys were helping me with earlier. Welcome to all my members as well. And all the original Grizzlies and the new Grizzlies that will subscribe today. So we are going to be looking at a press conference. I've, of course, put together a little presentation time, as I always do for you guys. So we're going to go through that, just so that you're up to speed on this case. If you've never heard about it, I only heard about it yesterday. It's already, wow, it's very scary. So, and this poor lady, I mean, what a beautiful, successful woman, so young, just taken so senselessly. It's horrible. So please note this content is for adults only. Okay, it is upsetting, and we're going to do our best to get through it all. Okay, so let me show you my presentation here. Hold on one second. Let me get it for you. Where is it? I've got two of them here. Hold on. I think it's this one. Stand by, everybody. Okay, there we go. Pava LaPere. I hope I'm saying her name right. She was also, she did a TEDx talk, and oh man, she was so successful at age 26. It's unbelievable. Let me just make my screen a little less bright. Okay, so if you haven't yet, please like and share so that others can know we are live right now. We are here together. As I say, we're going to go through a little timeline. There's not that much that we know because, of course, they're keeping things, close to the vest because they are still investigating this murder, which was only going to happen on Monday. And so I'm going to give you whatever I found, what we can, and we're going to look at the press conference together. Lisa, thank you so much for being a member for 22 months. Oh my word, you are an OG, an original Grizzly. Thank you so much. Wow, so nice seeing familiar faces here. So, Pava LaPere was born in 1997. She was 26 years old, living in Baltimore in a luxury Mount Vernon apartment block, which was actually the former Congress Hotel. So in these apartments, a one-bedroom apartment, I don't know why it's important to mention. I just see every article mentioning it. They're like one-bedroom apartment is $1,500. So I guess a very nice apartment block, right? 7 floors. And so she was living there, and she was a tech CEO with a bright future who founded a company called EcoMap. She was on the Forbes 30 under 30 list. She launched EcoMap Technologies at the age of 22 from her college dorm room, which was just 4 years ago because she was only 26 now. I mean, can you imagine the future that she would have had, the impact that she already had on this world and what she still would have had? And you're going to get angry when you see who the police say took her life, because he shouldn't be on the streets at all. And it's a manhunt, by the way. This is a manhunt. Okay, they are looking for this guy. Active arrest warrant. So that's scary. This country girl's life. Thank you so much. You say such a disturbing or scary case. Yes. So she was also named in Baltimore's 40 under 40 and Maryland's 25 under 25 lists for innovation. She'll be remembered as one of the brightest stars in Baltimore and a compassionate visionary force by those who knew and worked with her. Oh, man. Okay, so here's some nice pictures of her as well. I'll link her social media below in the description box after the stream so that you can go and look yourself. There's just so many nice pictures, and she was just really such a bright light. I can't imagine what her family and friends are going through. What a loss. EcoMap Technologies, the ecosystem company. This is from her Twitter, now known as X, account. EcoMap Technology, they say information should be accessible. We make platforms that make it easy to navigate the ecosystems all around you, from small towns to entire industries. You can see there they use the hashtag #GiveFirst as well. I mean, it's just scary. Her life was just starting out. Look at her go. Yes. Welcome to everyone. See, there's lots of locals in chat. So apparently there's a vigil now. They said on Facebook and on the X account, please join for a vigil in remembrance of our beloved CEO and founder Pava LaPere at the Washington Monument, and they gave the address there, 6:30 p.m. to 7:45 p.m. Now they said tomorrow. They didn't list the date, but I assume it's today at 6:30 p.m. Okay, in Baltimore. So if you are in the area, I think you can go. Please join for a vigil in remembrance of our beloved CEO and founder. That's what they've shared on social media. When it says tomorrow, to me it said 17 hours ago. So I'm assuming that would be today. Rachel, thank you so much for your sticker. You say thank you for all that you do, G. Thank you so much. Okay. Sharon Edwards says, what a terrible tragedy. It seems like young, successful women's lives are being taken so often. Yeah. So we continue on. On Monday, September 25th, which, yeah, look at the date. It's 2 days ago. Okay. On Monday, September 25th of 2023, the police responded to the luxury apartments on 300 West Franklin Street in Mount Vernon, Baltimore, at approximately 11:30 a.m. Someone had called to report Pava missing earlier, but the police would not specify who that was. So I'm not too sure. And that could be, as we've seen in many cases, you know, someone that was really close to her, that knew her routine, that knew, well, she would never just on a Monday, let's say, not show up for work or not show up for a regular coffee, or maybe it's a family member that she always spoke to every morning. We don't know. They're not saying who that was, which initially when I was reading about this case yesterday, I'm like, huh, it all sounds like so strange. Like, somebody reported her missing and then shame. And then they discovered her body. Oh my word. So that was around 11:30 a.m. on Monday 25th, right? Someone had called to report her missing. Pava was found deceased with blunt force trauma and apparently on the roof of her apartment. Now you will hear in the press conference, they don't specify that. But mainstream media has obviously been talking to some sources and things because they are saying that she was found on the roof of this apartment building. I'll show you what the apartment building looks like from the outside as well, just so you can visualize it, just to see where and how. They're saying reaching the area would have potentially meant climbing a ladder or fire escape. But that's how they say it, right, according to the Daily Mail. But she was on the top floor. So yes, you would probably still have to reach a ladder or fire escape. I was just trying to figure out why they say, did the guy that we'll look at now lure her there, like come and meet me on the rooftop, or did he take her body there afterwards? Now that is possible based on her living on the top floor. So because at first I'm like, why would no one spot that? But living on the top floor, it could actually be possible that he could take her body there afterwards, which is horrendous to think about. Chaos Coordinator said, thank you for covering these cases, G, because this is the first I'm hearing of this. Oh, thank you so much. And you said, you're amazing. Thank you. So they said, someone that the Daily Mail also spoke to said that her injuries were described as brutal and some of the worst they've ever seen. Actually, yesterday, quite a few Grizzly sent me this case, and they were saying, what if it's the same guy as in Rachel Morin's case, because this isn't Maryland. It's 45 minutes away from the Manhunt trail, so we looked at that a little bit. But no, it's not the same guy. I'll show you now who they say the suspect is. Well, yeah, they're basically saying active. You'll just see the history. We'll get to that now. So they said the police have named the suspect, and it's not believed that Pava knew him. But of course, they're still clarifying that. But the police are, conducting their investigation. Let me quickly show you this. Wait, it should be here. Hold on one second. Here is the apartment building, just so you could see what it looks like. Such a beautiful building. Oh my goodness. So it's on the 300 block of West Franklin Street and the former Congress Hotel. You can see it says Congress on the front here. So if you look down the road like this, and they do believe the suspect is from Baltimore as well. So I'm just showing you around a little bit. Okay, just so you can see. So this is it, where you go in, and if you look up, because I was counting, okay, so if this is 1, because they say on the 7th floor, normally that would be ground, but then let's say this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You see, so it has to be numbered that way for this to be. She must have lived on the top floor, and she was found apparently on the roof. That is so scary, oh my word. Let's just quickly go drive a little bit this way. Okay, just to see, you know, I don't know what kind of security there is, or if there's cameras, or they've already blurred something out here. But anyway, I just wanted to show you that. So let's continue on with the presentation here. So who is the suspect? Yeah, see, Chinny says penthouse, probably. Oh, and did you see the picture of Pava with her cat? Look, it's like Fury's brother or sister. Oh, shame. She says tech for all. She's creating such wonderful things. Okay. So in a press conference that we'll be watching together right after this, the police named the suspect that they are looking for. 32-year-old Jason Billingsley from Baltimore, who was released from prison in October of 2022 and is on parole. He's suspected of attacking, they haven't confirmed this, but they suspect that he attacked 2 people just days before on September 19th at knife point and in an arson attack. The victims are in critical condition. They said police rescued a man and a woman, both aged 26, who had burns and multiple injuries, along with a 5-year-old child found suffering from smoke inhalation. So if that's him, wow, yeah, this guy, he goes all out wherever he goes. Dana77, thank you so much for your sticker. I really appreciate it. Mitzi Scott says, Baltimore can be a very dangerous place. You must always have your head on a swivel and be super alert to surroundings. And especially now, right? With this killer running around. Painting with Pity says, I live by bullet points. Me too. Love bullet points. Okay, so. And when I read all this about his background, about him and getting out of prison earlier, oh man, it just makes me so angry. So prepare to get angry now. They said, we asked that anyone who has seen him or knows knows his whereabouts to contact the police immediately. So you can contact 911. I've put all the numbers as well in the description box that you can contact. Do not approach him. They believe he is armed and dangerous. So if you spot him, call 911 or the numbers listed below here. He faces first-degree murder, assault, and reckless endangerment charges for the murder of Pava LaPere. In 2009, he was arrested for robbery and assault in the second degree. He was arrested in 2011 and again in 2013 for multiple charges, including sexual offenses, second-degree assault, and robbery. He's 6'4", 305 pounds, and was sentenced to prison for 30 years in 2015. But then in October of 2022, he was released, only 9 years into his sentence. He is a repeat violent offender and is believed to be armed and dangerous. The police said this individual will kill and he will, RAPE, he will do anything he can to cause harm. Acting Police Commissioner Richard Worley cautioned, citing the suspect's alarming rap sheet. Wow. If you have any information that could help detectives in this case, contact the department at 410-396-2100 or Metro Crime Stoppers at 18667 lockup. Yeah, this guy, Janet says, friggin' dangerous dude. Like, he really is a friggin' dangerous dude. He'll stop at nothing. Yes, Nick says 30 years and you got out already? Already? And you'll hear at the press conference. I think it's the mayor and the acting commissioner and them, they definitely, they don't feel right about it. They're like, why are they even letting him out? Why is he on parole and only after 9 years, after being sentenced to 30 years? They're like, the sentence should be the sentence. The conviction should be the conviction. Yeah. See, Jenny says, OMG is huge. 6'4", 305 pounds. That too. And all kinds. I mean, it's like arson, burglary, assault, SA. Like, he's really very dangerous. And they believe he's still in Baltimore. So, there's an active arrest warrant for him. Jason Dean Billingsley. 32 years old, 6'4", 305 pounds. Police believe he is still in Baltimore. I'm not sure, how they know that. They're just supposing he's probably still there. And they're looking into connections with, his family and friends and where he could be hiding out. But there is an active arrest warrant for him and a manhunt for him. He's believed to be armed and dangerous. So call 911 if you see him, and the numbers again I've just put there in case you missed it the first time, and in case you want to maybe screenshot this if you're on your phone now or something, or on your computer wherever you're at, and you can share it on social media. Just some bullet points might be helpful just to get the information out there. Paula Street says, next stop, LWAP or death? Yes. Pesoptimus says the Congress Hotel and location of the arson are very close in proximity. Okay, good to know as well. I wasn't too sure how close were they. I'm sure you guys with local news know a bit more right now. Wow. So, yes, memorize the face. If you're local, look out for him. Shame. Pava LaPere, 26 years old. Life taken. Horrible. Now we're going to look at the press conference together. So I'll put this on for you. And I'll make sure to boost it for you as well. Let's actually just make sure. Yes. Make it bigger. And are we ready? Wait. Like that. Okay. Let's just go back. And sound on. Here we go. It's from yesterday.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Mayor Scott and State's Attorney Bates, for joining me here today. We're here to talk about two very brutal murders we had occur in our city yesterday. Mr. Rashid Maxwell, a 15-year-old young man, had his life taken by the gunfire, and Miss Pava LaPere was discovered yesterday. She had been murdered as well. We're here to announce that we have a warrant issued for the killing of Miss LaPere. Today, in consultation with the State's Attorney's Office, 32-year-old Jason Dean Billingsley of Baltimore was wanted for first-degree murder, assault, reckless endangerment, as well as additional charges. Our Special Investigation Section and Homicide Unit have been working aggressively to identify the suspect responsible for this tragic incident. Our Warrant Apprehension Task Force, alongside the U.S. Marshals Capital Area Fugitive Task Force, is actively working to apprehend Billingsley. At this time, we believe and we know he probably is armed and dangerous. We ask anyone who may have seen him or knows his whereabouts to contact police immediately by calling 911. We implore residents to be aware of your surroundings at all times. This individual will kill and he will rape. He will do anything he can to cause harm. So please be aware of your surroundings. Our thoughts and prayers are with the loved ones of Ms. LaPere, as well as Mr. Maxwell and our community. At this time, I'll turn it over to Mayor Scott to say a few words.
Just checking that the sound is okay for you guys. I can obviously turn it up just a little bit more. Maybe I should. Just a little bit more. Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Commissioner. And it's really difficult to express the sorrow that I have standing before you today. Both of these murders are horrific, senseless, and deeply tragic. Pava was a very young, talented, devoted Baltimorean, someone that I had the opportunity to get to know over the past few years, who would help anybody that she would see. And to have that life cut short by someone who has no care about anything other than harming people is something that should sit deep in the stomachs of all Baltimoreans tonight. Our city, as you heard from, and our BPD will not rest until we have him into custody. We are working with every law enforcement partner that we have to make sure that we bring this individual, who quite frankly shouldn't have been out on the streets in the first place, into custody, and allow the BPD to turn him over to the state's attorney in the justice system. We want anybody that knows this individual, his whereabouts, to share that with us right now, because as you heard from the commissioner, this person is extremely dangerous. We will not rest until justice is served. That goes for this case, along with the case of young Rasheed Maxwell, who was gunned down in West Baltimore, another young life cut too short. So anybody that knows anything about any of these instances, please let us know. Our BPD investigators pour everything that they have into each and every investigation that they do, but we're always going to need the community to help us. I've had the opportunity to speak with Pava's family and Mr. Maxwell's family, and Pava's family is asking that the media and everyone just give them the space to not reach out to them, to allow them to reach out to you in due time as they are dealing with the loss of a loved one, and we want you to extend that to Mr. Maxwell's family as well. I want to continue to say that these types of tragedies serve as a call to action for all of us to do more for our city, to make sure that we're building the better, safer Baltimore.
I'm just going to pause it there for a second. Someone in the chat was saying out-of-date photo being shown. I do wonder why they picked this photo, because there's quite a few to pick from. So I'm going to put this one here on the screen in case it helps get the information out as well. So, and it was in my presentation. I think there were 3 photos that I showed you there. So yeah, I don't know why they've got this picture here, but okay, carrying on.
Better, safer Baltimore that we all want, demand, and will continue to strive for each and every day. And with that, I'll turn it over to our state's attorney.
Thank you. Good afternoon, and thank you, Mayor Scott, for the kind introduction. As you all know, this will be an open and pending case, so there's nothing that I or actually anyone up here can really say and talk about this case. But the facts as they present themselves currently make this imperative for us to be alert and to alert the public about what's going on. It's important that we also understand that the families of the victims need our prayers, need to have the opportunity to be able to grieve. And my thoughts and prayers, and our thoughts and prayers are with them. Our number one goal here is to keep everyone in Baltimore safe. I will always show up and stand with my public safety partners. Our goal is to work together as a team to make sure individuals are held accountable. That not only they're going to be arrested, but we're looking to prosecute and hold them accountable. At the end of the day, we must work together to put a safer Baltimore for all. Thank you. Now, Commissioner.
We'll take a few questions. Like I mentioned, 1 per outlet with a follow-up, so everyone can come up to the mic. Make sure you say your name and your outlet.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is actually, there's a better view of this press conference elsewhere. So let's bring that over, shall we? We'll just take it back a little bit. This should be a better view. Ooh, sorry, I'm going to put the suspect over there just so we've got the right picture. Okay, let's see where we're at.
Thank you. Good afternoon, and thank you, Mayor Scott, for the kind introduction. As you all know, this will be an open and pending case, so there's nothing that I or actually anyone up here can really say and talk about this case. But the facts as they present themselves currently make this imperative for us to be alert and to alert the public about what's going on. It's important that we also understand that the families of the victims need our prayers and need to have the opportunity to be able to grieve. And my thoughts and prayers, and our thoughts and prayers are with them. Our number one goal here is to keep everyone in Baltimore safe. I will always show up and stand with my public safety partners. Our goal is to work together as a team to make sure individuals are held accountable. They were not only going to be arrested, but we're looking to prosecute and hold them accountable. At the end of the day, we must work together to put a safer Baltimore for all. Thank you. Now, Commissioner.
We'll take a few questions. Like I mentioned, one per outlet with a follow-up, so everyone can come up to the mic. Make sure you say your name and your outlet.
Tommy Clark with Channel 11. When it comes to LaPere's case, it appears that it was her apartment that she was in. Are you able to say at all, was this her business as well where she was? Any descriptors to inform us about what this place was where she was at? It appears it was her apartment, but any other details you can share there?
The only thing I can say, it was a secure building where someone had to allow the individual in the building.
Okay, and my one follow-up, I did want to ask.
I like the structure they've got here, and the mics are good, right? When they're like, one question per outlet, please. Say your name, and then ask your question. This sounds like a follow-up. But they were saying that they do not believe that they knew each other, but the investigation continues. But as we just heard, somebody would have had to let him into the building. So they're still continuing with the investigation. I hope that you guys, if you're only joining now and looking at the case, I hope you'll go back and look at the replay just so you can get the presentation, the bullet points that I offered you so that you have some more information about the case. We don't have all that much, but there's enough to know this is who they're looking for. There's an active arrest warrant out for this guy. There's a manhunt. He's very dangerous, 32 years old. They believe he's in Baltimore, 6'4", 305 pounds, Jason Billingsley. Yes, Myrna says for the mods, thank you for all the good work. Myrna, if you want to spoil the mods, you actually got to do that. Thank you so much for that on the coffee tip jar, specifically for the mods. But thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Okay, so let's continue to listen how they answer here.
You said that this individual will harm, will rape. Can you say at all what happened in this incident? All we know right now is blunt force trauma.
We cannot, but from his experience and his background, that's the rape part.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Bernie says, thank you, G. Your sharing of vital info is invaluable. I hope you know how much us Grizzlies love and respect all the hard work you put into the content. Thank you so much. And to the previous sticker, just the reason I'm saying that as well is because remember, YouTube takes like 50%, and then we got to split it between 10 mods, and I got to calculate it every quarter. So the best is to buy the coffees. Just to explain for the mods specifically. There's a very specific link just for them. If you want to spoil them, please do that. Nightbot will show you the link as well, and it's also on my website. Okay. Thank you to everyone who has spoiled the mods. It's amazing. And thank you, Bernie, for your sticker as well. So, yeah, there's a lot of questions in this case. Who called to report Pava missing? Who was that? And the reason I say that is because yesterday that was big secret. Like, we still don't know, but it was like, ooh, it just sounded so weird. Like, who did he call? Who called? And also, who let him into the building? What are the circumstances? We don't know. We don't know at this stage. All we know is this guy's face, name, age, that think he's in Baltimore, and the number to call if you spot him. So the more we share, the better, because, yeah, I don't see too much coverage on this case yet.
Mackenzie Frost from Fox 45. Looking at the timeline of this, I understand that the Pava was reported missing. Can you explain the timeline of when she was reported missing and who may have made that report?
We're still investigating that, but she was found not long after she was reported missing from the information I have.
And I understand that there's been some confusion about perhaps, did investigators go up to the roof at all during this investigation, or was she found inside her apartment itself?
I can't tell you that right now. It's still under investigation.
Janae Wright, WMAR 2 News. I was interested in, I know you guys elaborated a bit on his past, but is there any detail you can give about priors, maybe prior arrests or anything that might paint a clearer picture as to what we're dealing with?
Let's see all the things they say here. If you watch my presentation, we got quite a lot that I found all over the internet. I'm sure there's more, but let's hear what they say.
Basically, there's an individual that had a conviction for a violent crime back in 2011, and he received a sentence of 30 years, suspended all but 14. and he was paroled, looks like October of 2022. And the charges and counts, one of which was attempt rape, and those types of felonies. So he's an individual who we would view as a repeat violent offender.
And my follow-up question would be more about Maxwell. I mean, we mentioned both here today that we're investigating both cases. Do we have any potential leads on suspects or any other details you can give us about his case?
Our homicide detectives are working extremely hard with that case, too. It was a brutal murder of a 15-year-old young man. They have some good information, and I'm pretty confident we're going to close that case, too.
Okay.
Hi, Kelsey.
It is interesting that they are talking about both of those cases here at this press conference. I don't know if there's any connection whatsoever, but based on this guy's charges and how he conducts himself, wow, who knows what else he's done since he was released in October of 2022. That's also why it's important to share his face everywhere, because you just never know if he has attacked others that have thankfully survived then, right? And what they might come forward with. It could really help to, get justice for everyone.
With Channel 13, is the man wanted, or in this picture, wanted at all in any other situations or incidents that recently happened in the city, maybe like a fire that happened on Edmondson Avenue?
We're still looking into that case, but he is a suspect in at least one other case.
Okay, and do you believe that he's still in Baltimore?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Phil from...
Oh my, I'll have to... I'm not going to do it, I'm just joking. Now, if you were following along in the Delphi case in the days when I gave you a sniffle-free episode, yeah, this one's going to need an edit there, hey? Okay, yeah, Jellybean said should have never got out. Yeah, and sort of, Leanne said the sentence was 30 years, the judge suspended 16 years and also gave 5 years probation. 14 years with good time is disgusting for the judge to think is enough time. And just to think that, yeah, this is not the sort of guy to let out. They let him out, and look at all the things he's doing and probably has done already. This is terrible.
WBAL Radio. Mayor, you said that he should have never been out in the first place. And State's Attorney Ivan Bates talked about the repeat violent offender situation here. How frustrated are you that yet we have another murder in Baltimore where this is a case of a repeat violent offender who's committed an act?
Extremely frustrated. I mean, you and I talk about this, unfortunately, all too often, right? When myself, the police commissioner, the state's attorney, we have to stand up here and talk about someone's life cut down short by someone who should still be in prison, right? And this is why you consistently hear from us, those who are on the front lines of this work, those who have to talk with those grieving families to get other parts of the system to understand the human side of it, that these cases impact people's lives for the eternity. Pava's family is going to be dealing with the tragedy and the trauma of that loss for the rest of their lives. And that's where the frustration comes in. Because when the police go out and do their job, as they did in this case, right, with this individual, I won't even give him the pleasure of calling him a man, with this individual, and then the state's attorney goes out, does their work, gets the conviction should be the conviction. And we have to make sure that folks are held accountable in every single way, because we are tired of talking about the same people committing the same kind of crimes over and over again.
So did he slip to the...
I mean, he makes some very valid points. Talks to Animals, thank you for your sticker, and sorry to hear about that. You said my neighbor was murdered last week. Law enforcement has arrested 2 people so far. That's scary. I hope that you're okay. So...
The cracks?
Well, I can't tell you whether he slipped to the cracks or not. I think that you are a fine journalist, sir. What I would task you with doing is going through and looking at that case, as I know you will do, and look at who made a decision to allow this person to go out on parole based on the facts of those cases from the past. Because when you see them, you and every single person that lives in Baltimore and listens to WBAL radio will say there is no way in hell that he should have been on the street.
See what I mean? They feel really strongly about it too. So I guess we're going to have to do some digging. Be like, who really let him out It's like, there's no way in hell he should have been let out. Whoa.
Hugo Cugia with the Baltimore Banner. To be clear, he was paroled in October of last year. He hadn't violated parole, had he? Was he wanted for anything? Was there an outstanding warrant? Was he wanted for anything?
There was not one that we knew of.
Okay. And then I do have a question about the apartment building, to be clear on that. That she was found in her home, at her home?
We're not going to say where she was found. It was at that address.
You see, and that's why I said earlier, they're not going to say exactly where Pava was found, but the Daily Mail said that according to their sources, which I don't know if they called someone that lives there, someone, in the building, maintenance worker, which, by the way, what if this guy snuck in there under a ruse or something? I also don't know what time he would have, what time did the murder occur? I haven't said that. But, sorry, the point is, let's not lose track my train of thought here. They're saying, we're not going to say where she was found, but the Daily Mail said, according to their sources, she was found on the roof of the building, and that would require, getting on a ladder to get there. So, but as I showed you earlier, if you missed it, go check it out. I showed you the building. She lived on the top floor, according to what they're saying. So, yep. Cyan Doodle said, could be the roof. Yep. Yes.
Cassidy Jensen from the Baltimore Sun. You'd earlier said that she was found shortly after the missing persons report was filed. Can you say when that report was filed?
I can't really state, but it was within hours.
Within hours. Thank you. Yes.
Addie Briley. It's okay. I'm sorry. NBC Nightly News. Did the victims at all know the killer?
Not that we're aware of.
Okay, do we know if they were targeted for any reason?
If what, I'm sorry?
They were targeted for any reason?
I think that what we have to understand is that doesn't even matter at this point. We have a young woman who had her life taken away, and we have someone that we know cowardly took that life that we're going to find and bring in. That's all that matters. What matters is that we had someone kill another person in a brutal way that we have to get off the streets before it's done again to someone else. That's all that matters today, and that's the only thing that we should be talking about, is how this individual did that and how we're going to bring him in to make sure he doesn't do it to anybody else.
Thank you.
And before we end, I just have a message for Jason Billingsley. If you're out there watching, hopefully you are, every single police officer in Baltimore City, the state of Maryland, as well as the U.S. Marshals are looking for you. We will find you, so I would ask you to turn yourself in to any officer, any police station, because we will take you into custody eventually, and then we will turn it over to the state's attorney to prosecute you to the fullest. So please turn yourself in. Thank you.
Okay. So that's what we have with the press conference. I'll let you know if there's another one or anything. Let's look at a few more things here. Papa Bear said anyone living in the building could have seen him at the door and let him in. Never supposed to do this, but it happens all the time in such locked buildings. It does, yeah. Yes, it does. So it could be anything like that. I'm not sure. Maybe he was just trying to get to any floor. Like, why would he go to the top floor? We don't know, right? There's actually so many questions that I'm sure we all still have. So here is a picture of him. I like how they address him directly. But, these types, I'm not sure if he's going to turn himself in. Probably not. But you never know if he does. Imagine that. He turned himself in. What? So, okay. The press conference we've looked at. Let me just quickly show you a few more things here. This is important to share. Please like and share. It's not to like the topic or me. It's to boost this into the algorithm so that more people see it and then maybe more people will share it, okay? Kimberly says, that guy you just let in? Well, you don't know. You don't know what maybe he was really under a disguise or something. Maybe he was like, okay, I need to go there and, I don't know, fix some cables, or I'm going to meet someone, or I'm going there for, I don't know what time it was, because they found her, they responded to a call, the police, around 11:30 a.m. So, Laura said, gee, do you think this will be covered over social media with live streamers like Cavalcante was? I'm not sure. I'm never too sure if it will or won't. It depends if lots of people get on board or not. But even during the Cavalcante manhunt, there were many going on at the same time. And they were not covered like that. So I guess also seeing Cavalcante's video of him actually escaping and just all those crazy circumstances. Wow, that was quite a case, my goodness. There's actually lots of manhunts going on all the time. If you just set up your Google alerts or something for manhunt, you'll see. Worldwide, and yeah, in America, there's a lot right now as well. So, yes. Barbara said, could we have the names of the victims? I do not know the name of the young victim, or in the arson attack or the knife point attack either. We have the suspect's name here, and we have Pava's name here as well, of course, if you saw my presentation. And it's also in the title and in the description box. So I hope that helps to get her name out as well. So let me quickly show you this. Alyssa says, honestly, I can't blame the parole board. This falls on the judge for that sentence, shaking my head. Once he did his half time and didn't misbehave in prison. They followed protocol. How he had suspended sentence, so sad. Thank you, Alyssa, for your $20 super sticker. And yeah, it's actually, yes, sad, but very infuriating, isn't it? Terrible. Okay, so if you look here, if you want to see Pava LaPere's Facebook page, her family and friends have said, remembering Pava LaPere, they say, we hope people who love Pava will find comfort in visiting her profile to remember and celebrate her life. Tributes to Pava can be left here as well on this page, which people are doing, which is very sad, you know. Very nice, very touching messages. I can't imagine. What a loss. What a bright light taken. Jane, thank you so much. Really appreciated. And B. Ogden says, life in prison for this monster. Yes. It should have already been, right? But yes. I hope they catch him soon. Because someone like this, he could absolutely, he will. He'll do things again, right? He's very dangerous. Especially if someone wants to snitch or turn him in or whatever, hopefully. He won't know about it because you can call the tip line anonymously. You can call 911 anonymously. Just let the police know where he's at and they can come get him. Okay, so I'm going to rather link this than read through all these special messages. But there's lots of people that have left messages for Pava on her Facebook page here. I'll read Mac's one. It's quite short and sweet. It says, I'm literally heartbroken. I've known Pava LaPere since she was a college student with dreams of becoming an entrepreneur. I was there when she started a company and helped with funding and clients, and today she's gone because of a horrific act. Horrendous, yes. Oh, my word. So here as well is EcoMap Technologies, the company that she founded from her dorm room when she was just 22 years old. And this is where they said, we invite you to a vigil in remembrance of our beloved CEO, Pava LaPere, tomorrow evening at 6:30 p.m. The ceremony will be held at the south steps of the Washington Monument. So I think that's tonight. The south steps of the Washington Monument in Mount Vernon near the Walters Art Museum. Pava's visionary leadership and unwavering commitment to fostering inclusivity, amplifying ecosystems, and fortifying Baltimore's tech community set her apart as an exceptional leader, and her boundless passion for EcoMap's mission was foundational to our success. Join us as we gather to celebrate Pava's extraordinary life and the profound impact she had on our community. Let us come together to share stories, memories, and heartfelt tributes, finding solace in the knowledge that her spirit will continue to guide us in the work we carry forward. With gratitude, the EcoMap team. I hope they can continue her work. I hope that someone, can take over and continue the vision that she had. Bad Jelly the Witch says, let's get those likes up, people, please. Thank you for being a member for 5 months. Yes, and Pinche, whoever turns him in is not a snitch, you say. They will help another family from going through this. Absolutely, they're not a snitch. No, I was thinking like you would think, like, don't snitch, but like, do call the police. He's extremely dangerous. He absolutely is a risk to people's lives. So they got to get him as soon as possible. If anyone knows him, if you're watching this and you're second guessing it, just call them. You can leave your tip anonymously. Just give the address of where they can get him, right? So You can read a lot more here as well. There's also a Twitter page, now known as X, where they said it is with profound sadness and shock that EcoMap announces the tragic and untimely passing of our beloved founder and CEO Pava LaPere. The news has shaken us all deeply. In the coming days, we'll keep our community informed about the ways we'll be honoring Pava's enduring legacy. For now, we hope you join us in keeping her family and loved ones in your thoughts and prayers. So they also said here, we understand the public's interest in the story, but we kindly ask for privacy and respect as we grieve and process this unimaginable tragedy. In the coming days, we will share more about the ways we intend to honor her memory legacy. So I will just leave all these links for you so that you can see that. And I actually just wanted to show you this little clip. I'll link this video for you too if you want to watch the whole video. But it's just, I just wanted to show you Pava speaking. You know, she's so intelligent. She was doing great things, and this is actually from a TEDx talk, so just have a listen.
This was. You see, that very year, I had won a grant from the university, $10,000 to build out an idea that I had for a software company. And as soon as I got that money, I was mortified because I realized that I actually had no plan for how to turn an idea into an actual company. So after 4 months of floundering around and spending $500 on purchasing URLs, I returned the money to the university. I had absolutely, utterly failed. And now it was my job to teach other students how to not do that. See, there wasn't a single day that imposter syndrome didn't linger over everything that I did. You know, what possibly made me qualified to tackle this problem? But eventually I realized that sometimes the only qualification you have to build something is the fact that you are the one who's willing to build it. So that became the hatchery, the incubator portion of TCO Labs. And through my work there, I realized that there were a ton of people, not just at Hopkins, but elsewhere, who wanted to build out solutions to these big problems that our world faced, but they simply didn't know how. And so I became obsessed with this idea of helping as many people as possible become entrepreneurs. And I feel like this needs a little bit of explanation, because when I say entrepreneur, I do not mean the tech bros in hoodies building the next Uber for puppies, right?
Shame. I mean, I'll just link this for you if you want to see more of that episode, that TEDx talk. It was just brilliant. So, and I'll link all the social media profiles. As I say, she's also on Twitter. She's also got her Instagram account. What a life she was just starting to live. I mean, unbelievable. It's so senseless. It's actually really hard to process, isn't it? Also, someone is saying Cavalcante escaped again. No, he did not. He can't escape from where he's at now. But there is some news for Danilo Cavalcante, and they're having a hearing, a preliminary hearing for him. That's all the news I can find, just in case anyone's swept up in the fake news going on in the chat here. Okay, so you can see Pava Marie on Instagram as well. There's lots of clips that you might want to check out if you want to learn more about her and her life. Sure. So I hope that I brought lots of information to you as much as I possibly could. I'll be keeping an eye on this case, of course, and I'll let you know if there's any developments. I really hope the next live stream will be, oh my word, they caught him. Let's hope there's a press conference. Now would be great. Now, tomorrow, ASAP, that they actually caught the suspect. That would be great. Betsy Connor, welcome to Grizzly Supporter. Thank you so much for becoming a member. Okay, so you can have a look here as well and just see, you know, some highlights from her life, some memories. It was such a short life, 26 years old, but I hope that she had a good life. Look at her cat as well. Oh my word. So sweet. So yes, I think that's about everything that I've got. I'll just show you this as well. This was from Forbes. It's Forbes.com. Remember, she was listed as 30 under 30. So apparently that's very prestigious to be listed, you know, Forbes 30 under 30. And it's Pava LaPere is a profile here. And then they talk about EcoMap, which I also told you a little bit about. So I'll link this as well for you. Okay, well, that's all I have for you for now. Of course, we are following many cases. I hope that you checked out my community tab, because I was telling you guys that I wanted to go over the closing arguments in the Gareth Pursehouse trial, but my goodness, they went on and on and on and on. I tried to take out all the breaks and really condense it for us, but it's like 5 hours long for closing arguments. We already heard the details, and the defense got very much, like poor him. Ooh, that just makes us so mad, right? So I have linked that for you on the community tab, so you could check it out on Law and Crime Network. And then right now there's the verdict watch taking place in the Gareth Pursehouse trial. So definitely keeping an eye on that. And yeah, there's lots of cases we're following right now. Lots of things happening, of course, in true crime. Maybe some updates. I'm checking out that press conference they had earlier for the Gilgo Beach murders as well. I'll let you know if there's anything that I could share with you, or if we should, look at that press conference together. We'll check it out. Always doing my best to keep up to date with all these cases. Thank you so much, everyone, for all your support in whichever way you choose to support the work that I do. Just remember, subscribing is free, and watching my videos is a wonderful source of support. So just keep doing that, okay? Never feel obliged to go to my website and click on the support button. There's many options there, but just watching the videos, it says it on there too, is great. So thank you so much to everyone who is a member, or if you are on Patreon, thank you so much. And I'll keep you posted. Okay. Always head on a swivel, right? We're always looking what's happening next. Please do share this episode. I really hope more people will cover it. I hope for a press conference soon. And I hope that guy doesn't hurt anyone else. If you missed the beginning, please check out the beginning of the episode. I'll do some timestamps now for you if you don't know what they are, because I see some people still don't know what they are. Someone today commented, your intros are too long. And I'm like, well, then skip to the timestamp. That's what they're there for. You don't have to sit through the intro if you don't want to. You can literally just click on the pinned comment, has all the timestamps, or the description box, or you can hover over the video. There's like 3 things you can do. So just skip to what you want to see, right? So I'm going to do that for you now. Go back to the beginning. Let's watch the replay then if you missed some of the beginning. And I will see you again in the next one. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone, for the stickers and everything. And mods, thank you always for everything that you do. Okay. See you soon. Bye.